Bam! And we're in it. So, if you want to know my thoughts on the first Avengers, check the description box or check the comment section down below. I gave the first Avengers an 8 out of 10. If you want to know why, click the link down below. Now, let's get to Avengers Age of Ultron. First off, there's going to be spoilers. For God's sakes, this movie's going to gross domestically probably more than $220 million at the box office. So there's going to be spoilers, all right? It's going to be spoilers. Now, let's just dive right in. Let's start with the negatives, all right? Ultron. Listen, I feel like the character of Ultron, like as far as his initial motives for being evil and wanting world dominance, just felt very forced. Like literally his consciousness was like born and like he was like, where am I? What is this? I'm gonna be evil. I want to kill people. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna destroy the world. I hate humans. Like he just Ultron went from like zero to evil in like a matter of like 2.5 minutes maybe. I just wish that his motives for wanting to be evil were more fleshed out. The pacing is a good and a bad thing. In terms of a negative, the pacing just makes the movie feel so rushed. You know, the first film did not have this issue. The first film felt like it had a good flow to it, you know? Like this film, holy shit, this film feels like Joss Whedon watched that one movie Crank with Jason Statham and he just snorted a line of fucking just rushed this movie out. Another negative is that I felt like Ultron was a good challenge, but he didn't feel like a legitimate threat to the group. I never felt that the group was in true danger. And this was a critical thing for me, you know? Because for me, like, think about how sick it would be to watch an Avengers movie and you're like, you know what? They're about to get fucked up. And this is going to be tough to watch. Like, how are they going to defeat this guy? This has yet to happen cinematically in an Avengers film, and it just bugs me. These Avengers movies are not very emotional. There are some emotional beats, but not substantially. And I feel like if it was substantial, the action scenes would be far more elevating, and you would be more invested and be more gripping. What else comes to mind? First off, this whole like spirit moment or the spirit journey, this random spirit journey that Thor went on, I don't know, that whole sequence was like a question mark to me. Like I feel like you could have removed the whole Thor doing whatever the hell he was doing in that water well. Like it felt like it didn't really go anywhere. I mean, granted, in Thor Ragnarok it might be like, oh, that scene is so vital now. No wonder it's there. Maybe, but at the current time, it just felt really random. This guy's Russian accent, I don't think was very good. And I hated when he died. He was like, you didn't see that coming. I mean, that might sound nitpicky, but like I just thought that was cheesy. I was like, he couldn't have just stared at Jeremy Renner in silence and just fell dead. Like, he just had to say that. And I don't feel that this film is a 10 out of 10 by any means. I mean, it is fun, but a 10 out of 10? A masterpiece? The best comic book movie of all time? I mean, not to me. I don't even think I would say that this film is better than Guardians or the sequel to Captain America. Another negative to me is that if you watch the first film and then you watch Age of Ultron, when you watch Age of Ultron, it's like there's a lot of what's in here, especially action-wise, that is a little bit too similar to what was already in the first film, what we've already seen. For example, them fighting an army of many again. It just seemed like there was a lot of things in the sequel that's like kind of already been down this road before. I don't know. Those are some of the negatives that come to mind for me. But let's get into the positives. First off, the chemistry between the cast. The chemistry between the cast is perfect. The humor, the amount of humor and jokes overstuffed into this movie is worth the price of admission. This was my favorite moment of the film right here. Holy fucking shit. This was my favorite moment of the film. I mean, for most people, they might be like, why is that your favorite moment? But for me, I was like, yo! Like, think about how much time it took for Bruce and Natasha to get that bond together. So when these romance scenes start coming in, I mean, granted, they were laying it on a bit thick at times, but for the most part, I didn't mind the romance scenes because that moment in the woods with them, I mean, the amount of time it must have took them to get to that level, it makes sense that they're romantically involved. And that moment in the woods at the beginning of that movie, oh my god, when this shot came on, I was like, yeah! Yeah! This movie opens with just grandiose Avengers whooping ass, and it was fantastic, okay? I don't understand people that are like, I still think the first film is better. What are you smoking? Like, are you serious? The first 10 minutes of this movie is better than the first film, okay? Joss Whedon, he went deep on this shit. I mean, like, when they're fighting, like in the woods especially, the way they coordinate with each other, with their weaponry and their physicality, like for example, like Cap will be like, and he'll have his shield right here, and Thor will hit that bitch, and like it'll make a sonic boom that'll wipe out 10 people. Like, oh, it's just the Hulkbuster suit versus the Hulk. Holy fucking shit! That shit was I don't even know what I'm doing right now, but I'm excited. That shit was so fucking incredible. Okay, the Hulkbuster suit, the CGI was incredible. It was like seamless. Oh my god. And Ultron. Ultron. Listen to me. James Spader was fucking perfect as Ultron. Like, Ultron was so fucking fascinating. Oh my god, he was so fascinating. Like, his voice was so creepy. I wish there was like a 60-minute fucking interview with Ultron, with him fucking in like some weird prison somewhere, and like some weird British fucking reporters like interviewing him, asking him questions about his deep psyche. I would fucking watch that shit, alright? Oh my god, the action sequences were so awesome. And like I said, the pacing of the film was a negative and the positive. In the positive sense, the replay value of this movie is so high because the movie is so fast paced. There's probably a whole bunch of shit that I forgot because things happen like that fast. Another negative really quick is that I think they laid it on a little bit too thick with setting things up in this film that'll make sense in future films. Like some of the tension sometimes between Captain America and Iron Man, or Thor's random spirit walk. Things like that felt a little bit too on the nose. It kind of felt like they were landed on thick. But there were times where it worked beautifully, like when Scarlet Witch, when she was like, you know, he'll do anything to make something right in his mind, and I was like, Civil War, baby. I gotta say, I love the ending of this movie. Like, it ends in like a real somber, bittersweet way with like the Hulk ignoring Natasha and him just ignoring her, just leaving, going wherever the hell he went on that jet. Thor's off to wherever the fuck he's going. Cap and Iron Man, they're splitting up, and Captain America's like, he's got like this new little mini temporary, maybe, I don't know, group of Avengers. When the fucking, you know, that part with the floating city or whatever, I was like, my God, they spent a lot of money on this movie. Vision, Jesus Christ, I almost forgot about Vision. But Vision was cool. You know, I wasn't crazy about him, but he was cool. But when he woke up, when he first wakes up, he flies to that window, and he's like looking at himself, and there's a shot, outside shot of like the cityscape and him looking through the window. That moment, I want that as like my background so badly. To me, Age of Ultron is a 9 out of 10. for me. Oh, and the post-credit scene with Thanos. Yeah. I wish the movie was darker. I do wish that Ultron was creepier and darker. Like, I wish there was like a scene where fucking Jeremy Renner's character was like bleeding out, and like Ultron was standing over him, like laughing at him and like beating the shit out of him, and then when the rest of the group show up, like Ultron disappears, and like fucking Jeremy Renner seems like he's about to die, and like the audience is like tearing up and crying and shit, so that when the team meets up with fucking Ultron again, you're like, yeah, kill that bastard! I can't believe you did that. I wish there was a moment like that. You know, I just wish it was a little bit darker. I just want to care more. You know, I want to be more emotionally invested. You know. This movie was fucking awesome. Infinity War is gonna make me piss my pants. But what'd you think of it? Let me know down below. Let me know down below in the comment section. And if you want to see my review of the first Avengers, check the description box. Peace.